Hey everyone, Seth the Mad Dog here again. What am I doing in the car this morning? It's a vlog episode, that's what we're doing. We're doing a vlog episode. I'm actually on my way to Savannah Lion Games in Savannah, Georgia. That's about a 4-hour drive for me. But you're going to enjoy who I get to see there because I'm going over to film a battle report with the Glacial Geek. I know a lot of you guys really want me to do like a, all the details, action by action Batrep. That's a lot of editing for me. I'm a one-man show here. But Phil does those kind of bat reps. So I'm going over to play with Phil. So you'll be able to see my game on his channel. But I'm still going to vlog. I'm going to try to do like, hey, at the end of the turn, how'd you think the turn went kind of coverage. But we'll see if I can figure out how to set up this this gorilla pod. So maybe I can run down the list while driving safely. But it's a 4-hour drive and it's already 7 o'clock my time. So I got to get on the road. All right. I'm on the interstate. I got the cruise control on. I'm not going to look at you guys very much because I'm trying to be a safe driver here. So what list am I taking? So earlier this week, I thought I had an RTT today. So I was going to try to speed paint a bunch of new models that I'd been tinkering with on TTS so that I could have the army for this RTT. And then I realized I didn't have that. That was next weekend. And then Phil and I had been talking on and off about trying to get this game in, and then it turned out he was able to do it. So then Friday night I went back to speed painting to finish up the army. So I got the army done, so I can run the list I want. So the list I'm trying to run for this, it's 3 detachments. It's a Death Skulls Outrider and 2 Evil Sun Patrols. In the Death Skulls component, I have a Mega Armor War Boss. He is a truck boy, and I gave him the Super Cyborg Body Relic, so he's half damage, and he's got the 4-pinbolt save. He's really just meant to be kind of a tar pit. If you've got something big and scary, I can run him into it, and he can live for a turn or two to slow you down while I deal with other things on the board. In that detachment, I also have 3 units of 5 Storm Boys. All of those just have basic choppas, nothing too exciting. But they have the OPSEC because they're Death Skulls, and they're very fast moving, so they're great for playing the mission. And then I threw in 2 Grot Mega Tanks with 7 custom Mega Blasters each. These are like big, scary damage dealing units. That ends up being 7 D3 shots that hit on 4s at strength 8, neg 3, D6 damage. They can really cause your opponent some pause because they can have the potential to pick up anything they point at. They do have that kind of damage output. So they're pretty scary in that regard. They're not super tough, so when I expose these things to take the kill shot, I'm kind of expecting they're going to die afterwards. They're only T6 with 11 wounds. They do have Ramshackle and a 3-up armor save, but most of the time that's not going to matter. Moving on into the Evil Sons components, the first patrol has a War Boss on Warbike. This is after the FAQ came out, so he acts like a speed boss. He's not my Warlord, but he does have a 5-pinbolt save. He has the ability to auto-advance 6, which is great. So I gave him Brutal but Cunning and the Killer Claw. So he's my version of the Killer Claw boss that's a truck boy, but I'm not doing a truck boy because I like the maneuverability. Truck boys are kind of, they get maneuverability once, and then they're out of their truck, and they're easily exposed and killed for truck bosses. So I like him because I can move him. I can, send him with some other fast-moving units up a flank where he's still protected by those other units, so he can't be targeted, and he can really threaten that kind of home run hitting ability that Killer Claw with Brutal but Cunning has. In that detachment, I also have a unit of boys. These are truck boys to accompany the truck Mega Armor Boss. I do have a truck in that detachment. And then I have 2 units of 3 Deathcopters. I like these because they're good damage output against vehicles, but they're also pretty good into melee. And they're very fast. And they have fly, which is going to be important when we look at some of the other components on my list, because there can be a lot of clogging of movement lanes in this list. So having fly units that don't need to necessarily move in certain paths through terrain really helps kind of leave those movement lanes open to the units that aren't able to pass through terrain as easily, like my trucks or my Squighawk boys, which we'll get to. The last attachment has a Beast Boss on Squigosaur. He is the true Warlord. He has Red Mecha's Redder Paint and Art as Nails. So he makes you fight last. He's -1 wound. He's also a durable thing that I can just say, I need to slow something down for a while. He's going in to deal with it. In addition, I have 2 units of just regular boys in that detachment. I have 2 trucks. And the idea with this is just to kind of protect these units so that they're not just being picked up easily by indiscriminate firepower early on in the game. so that they're alive for the turns that I call my WOG, or they're alive for me to use things like faster than use, late game to try to get them places onto objectives. Speaking of faster than use, since I have some Squighog boys, which we'll get to, I did take 3 knobs on Smash-A-Squigs, and one of those I have upgraded to take faster than use. These are great little hunters that can go around and pick on small units on objectives. What you're starting to see the theme here is my goal is to play the objective game hard, really hard. I don't want you to have more than 20 points primary. I think if you get more than 20 points primary, I haven't done my job very well. Because I'm not going to be able to outscore a lot of the top tier armies on secondaries. I want there to be a huge primary difference. So that's my goal. So having these units that can say, hey, you put a 5-man unit, I did a little damage here and there, and then this knob on Smash-A-Squig is going to go in and pick up the spare. I like those for that. I also am running 2 units of Squighog boys, just 3-man each. They do have a bomb squig in there. These are just kind of little missiles. They're fantastic. They can be targeted by faster than use, and they can go in and clear out some relatively durable targets, particularly vehicles and monsters. They're pretty good at picking up those spares. So they're great to just, turn 1, turn 2, send one of those forward to a critical transport that needs to die, or another injured bigger vehicle that the the Grot Mega Tanks and the Deathcopters weren't able to pick up. These guys are great for being able to swoop in and pick up that kill. So that's the list I'm running. Immediately, if you do the math, I'm starting with 3 CP. That's not a lot of CP, but it's fine, because at the end of the day, what stratagems am I really going to use? Occasionally I'm going to use the jump, shoot, jump on the Deathcopters. Because I have 2 units of those, I can't really always depend on that. So that's not that big a deal to me. But that's only 1 CP, so I'm regenerating 1 each turn anyway. So if I have a unit that's popping out, shooting, and popping back, that's manageable. I can manage that. That's sustainable. The other things I tend to use my CP on, the fight on death. So if I do charge in with like the Claw Boss, I do want to make sure I've got 2 CP or fight for either fight on death or the interrupt, because that guy really just needs to punch, period. He needs to get his punch off. And if someone has some fight last mechanics or something like that, that it's going to make it so that I don't get to swing with that big guy, that's going to be a problem for me. So I need to make sure I guarantee that swing first. The other thing that I'll use it on occasionally, ramming speed. And I use ramming speed mostly on like the Deathcopters, because that 3d6 charge, and they're not horrible in combat, and they're fairly durable. Yep, that's the GPS telling me to get off the interstate here in 2 miles, so I'm almost done talking to y'all. But that allows me to tie up some units, so particularly something that's not great in combat but a great shooting unit, Deathcopters charging in and just tying them up is a great option. So that's kind of, I've played a few games with it. I've felt like I've had games with just about every opponent I've played. So that's the list I'm going to end up running today. I'm in the car. I've got about 4 more hours of driving. I've had 1 cup of coffee. I probably need to stop and get another, get some breakfast. But hopefully, the next time you see me, I'll be at Savannah Lion Games with Phil the Glacial Geek himself. See you in a bit. Well, still driving. About 3 hours left now. It's been about an hour. Listened to a bunch of podcasts. And everyone, I listened to some Art of War, I listened to some Flying Monkey, and everyone seems to be going off about this 18 buggy list. And the question is, why don't I think that is the best list? I think it's a very strong list. It certainly has the firepower to blow things away. It's usually running like 9 Megatracks and 9 Rocket Trucks. So the Megatracks crack your transports, the Rocket Trucks pick up whatever comes out of it. There's nowhere to hide from that list, from the Rocket Trucks. But the issue I have with that list is, 1, I just don't own those models. I have a fair amount of buggies, but not really that many. But 2, I think it's going to have a cap. There's so many buggies in that list, it's going to be difficult to hide. And in order to give your Megatracks the right movement lanes they need to be able to get up the field and do damage, you're really going to have to expose yourself. So it's very much a, do I go first? Great. Do you go first and have decent anti-tank shooting? You win. And we've seen that. We've seen a lot of folks do really well with this list. Ooh, the camera's tilting because I'm driving around a bend right now. We've seen folks that can just go 100 loss. You know, like they're blowing everything up in the whole wide world, and then they take that round 3, round 4 L. Yeah, I don't think that's not because of player skill. They didn't get outplayed. They got outlisted in those scenarios. And so that's kind of why I'm not a big fan of those lists, because there's just sometimes that you're going to have a matchup that you just lose in the list writing phase, or you lose at the terrain setup with whatever event you're going to, or the coin toss of you don't really have a plan if you go second. You're just like, well, I hope I don't die, because even if you run it as blood axes, your redeploy is before you know who goes first. So I debated bringing that list today and running a meta list to play with Phil, but I decided I still don't think that's the best list. I don't know that I'm going to play. I probably could play better with that list right now that I can play with my combat list, but I want to learn my combat list because I think the combat version of Orks is probably the version of Orks that has the longer legs here in 9th edition.
All right, we made it. We're in a pool in Georgia. It's basically Savannah, Georgia, here at Savannah Lion Games. Let's go inside and check out the store. And here's the man himself getting his evil army set up. Woo! So Phil's still filming all his little intro bits.
Yep.
But you guys can of course check his channel for the full Batrep. I'll probably just do like in between turn recaps. But Phil, you told us this list was a labor of love and very kind and gentle. So
actually, there's zero love involved in this list at all. It is the bastard spawn of 2 other hard lists that I created, and I put them together to create the hardest of Dark Angels list that I think I could pull out of the ether and put upon the table. So
don't you mean the Immaterium?
I'm going to go with ether just because I even think this is too strong even for to go to Chaos's evil machinations.
All right.
This list is pretty brutal, I think. So
all right.
We'll have to check it out.
It'll be a very interesting game. We will check it out in a bit. All right. You can see all of our amazing facial expressions. How excited we are, Phil.
Very excited.
All right, we're finished deploying. We're doing Vital Intelligence. Is that right?
Yes.
This is the Dark Angel Angry Blob of Angry Blobness, and they would like to go that way probably.
Yes.
And then he's got a bunch kind of smaller units over here. A unit of 5 guys near an objective. I have no idea why. And then those guys over there. You took a Stubborn Defiance,
yes.
Data Intercept,
yes.
and a Secret Dark Angel.
Secret.
All right. So we're all deployed over here. The only thing I kept in reserves was 1 unit of Storm Boys. I ended up taking Data Intercept, which is the Vital Intelligence one, Stranglehold, and Retrieve Octarius Data. So we're going to hop over to Phil's video now and roll off first turn, and we'll be back after whoever has turn 1.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're back at the end of Dark Angel's turn 1. Phil went first.
Yep.
He had a lot of shooting over here, popped my truck. The truck exploded and did a lot of damage, but I was able to careen and get the Mega Boss forward, who then heroically intervened into the attack bikes and killed them in my swing back, which was a cool trick.
Yep.
And then over on this flank, he popped the other truck and whittled down that unit of boys and the Storm Boys. He also used some fire to whittle down this lone Squig Rider. He's now all by himself.
He held strong. He was real good.
So how'd you feel about that turn?
I felt okay.
Yeah.
I felt like it could have gone better, especially with that Squig Hog boy. He just did not want to go down.
I rolled like 4 6s to keep him
so
alive.
many 6s. He's alive because of those 6s. But he also managed to pass his leadership, like stuck his leadership test.
Yeah,
so
he was like, I'm
otherwise
not,
he could have run away.
He's like, I'm not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere. He was good.
I'm saving those mortal wounds for something. So yeah, Phil doesn't score any points because
No.
Stubborn Defiance and Data Intercept, but those guys, those evil Terminators back there are going.
They've done the actions.
It's onto the Orc turn. I really want to Wog, but I also know it's not a good idea. So I'm going to think about it for a minute.
Right.
We'll be back, and we'll see the rest of it on Phil's channel.
Sounds good.
All right, Phil, we're back. I know I said I shouldn't do it, but I declared a turn 1 Wog.
Turn 1 Wog, of course.
And I basically just dove into Phil.
Yep.
Shooting really wasn't hyper effective. This Crop Mega Tank tried to shoot and killed one Deathwing Knight. These three bros, come on, focus, shot and did nothing to the Terminators.
It's hard to do to them.
Yeah, it is. Over here, we did use the copter rockets to pick up the attack bikes, and this Crop Mega Tank killed like 1.5 Blade Guard veteran. But because we wogged, we were able to do a fair amount of damage on the charge.
A lot of damage.
Picking up both of the command squad there. He interrupted with this Talon Master and then did the runaway. He did like 1 wound to the knob on Smash Wig and ran away. We were able to pick up all of those Blade Guard. Over here, we picked up the other Talon Master with some mortal wounds on the charge and some bomb squigs and some punching. The Beast Boss and Blue Sword flubbed his charge, trying to get in to tag both those units to give him fight last. But the Mega Boss continues to just be annoying over there. And we failed our charges over here. I was able to get 3 points on Stranglehold, but that was it. I was not able to rod this turn. I did data intercept over here. What do you think of new Orks, Phil?
They're brutal. They're real brutal, especially when they get in at you with that first wah. It's just, whew, it's hard. It's hard to fight back. I mean, my guys are very tough. They're very resilient. They're able to hang in a fight, and the Orks just made short work of them. Blended them real quick.
So we'll be back. Remember, check out his channel for the full Batrep, but we'll be back at the end of Phil's turn. This is definitely not the second recording of Phil telling us about his turn, too.
No, first time. Always the first time.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was a good turn. I think I punched a bunch of things that I needed to punch and killed them.
Yep.
I don't know if it was enough. We'll have to see how your counter punch comes in this turn. I'm feeling hesitantly optimistic. I think you got me in points so far. And we'll just have to see how it goes from here on out. Because your counter punch on turn 1 was super strong, and that kind of caught me out a bit. But I think I've recovered somewhat enough that I think I can keep going forward with a bit more. So we'll see.
So the command squad managed to pick up the blue knob on Smash Squig. Between shooting and charging over here, picked up the unit of boys down to 1 who failed his leadership. Picked up 2 of the Death Copters. The ongoing combat over here basically did 1 wound to the Mega Armor War Boss, who then killed 1 of the command squad back. The Deathwing Knights charged in on the 6 wounds, Beast Boss and Squigosaur. He fought first because they gave him fight last and killed 1, but they managed to pick him up. And then over on this flank, basically just some firepower did 4 wounds to the War Boss on Warbike and 3 wounds to the Knob on Smash Squig. So we did score some points. We got 3 points for data intercept. And we got 10 points at the start of the turn, so we'll be back with Orks kicking some butt. Well, here we are.
Yes.
The second turn of the WOG.
Yes.
Much punching occurred.
Lots of punching.
The Mega Tanks, they tried to line up shots on the Deathwing Knights, and combined did 6 wounds themselves and killed 1 Deathwing Knight. Not ideal. This truck just came over here to tag these guys and tie them up. Those Storm Boys didn't have enough movement to steal that objective, so they've just moved over here. The truck boys came back to do data intercept. These guys just kind of consolidated around to get some objectives. These guys did rod. We did run the War Boss up trying to smoke the Terminator squad, only killed 4, and the Smasher's Knob couldn't pick up the spare. So we're up on points, but we're running low on bodies. Let's see if the Dark Angels can pull it out. Also, by the way, Phil is hiding. I have camera envy. This big fancy camera versus my tiny little camera.
That's usually how it works with cameras.
That's camera.
Bigger is better.
Yeah, it is. Behind the scenes, guys, Phil doesn't know what he's doing.
I don't, ever. I never know. Never believe that I know what I'm doing.
So how'd your turn go, Phil?
Mixed. I'd say it was mixed.
Yeah.
I think I did a pretty decent job of knocking off some units that I really wanted and needed dead.
Yeah.
Especially on this flank over here. I think I did a pretty good job.
You're pretty much owning this flank, I think.
That's my hope. And I think that the things that are still here can probably withstand a lot of the attacks that you can throw back my way.
Yeah.
I mean, the fight phase was like a Nerf battle.
Yeah, I don't think we hurt anyone.
Yeah, I think he took some wounds.
He took 4 wounds,
but he
and that
didn't
was all the
die.
damage.
Yeah, he didn't
That
die.
occurred.
Over here, nothing happened.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of whiffs. I did do some good shooting because I managed to kill your knob, and I also managed to kill, and then 1 ran away of your Squig boys.
You killed a couple of the Storm Boys.
Killed a couple of Storm boys. Ooh,
The big clutch play was
play.
He got 5 wounds through on the 3 boys, including the Knob down there, and I made 2 6-ups. So he lived, the Knob lived, and then the Knob passed his morale. So that was a big point swing.
Got him points on that one, which
it
is
did.
huge.
Yeah, we're all about points here. So we'll be back after my turn 3. Look at this big old camera. He's showing off his big old camera.
Of course, that's what I did.
Yeah. So Orks had kind of it was a cunning turn, less than a brutal turn. We tried to line up shots with these Mega Tanks to pick up the Deathwing Bikers and this command squad, so I could finally target that guy next turn. They both managed to just like split shots and do like 2 wounds there and kill a couple Bikers. We ran the Storm Boys onto Rod there, and then that truck to kind of contest that objective. This lone knob has ran back to still be within range of the objective, but hidden because he's a wimp. Storm Boys came down over here. Squiggle Boy ran back here. We fell back with the Mega Armor Boss and the Smash a Squig because they were in a position where they were just going to give up 3 kills. We fired the Death Copters in on the other Talonmaster and did like no damage.
No damage.
And then we charged in and killed him.
Yes.
So we're hanging in there. We're hanging on by a thread. We got like a 10 or 11 point lead right now. But
I don't even know if it's much of a thread. I think you're doing pretty good.
Well, my durability is running out at this point,
that's
so
fair.
it's a matter of can I keep the score train going.
Yes. So we'll see.
All right, Phil, what'd you do? What'd you do?
I punched you.
You did.
I punched you hard. Literally just punches. Some shooting, but mostly punches.
And the shooting was in combat.
The shooting was in combat.
Shooting here into the truck.
Yes.
So you did clear the truck out. You cleaned out the Storm Boys.
Yes.
You did
Kill the boss.
Killed the boss.
And
Poor
I
boss
killed
who was
the
running
one.
away. And picked up one of the Death Copters.
Yes. All of it in combat except for one Storm Boy got shot.
But the cunning play over here.
Oh yes.
Double moving this unit of bikes to steal this objective from me. That cost me 5 points on primary and another point on data intercept.
Yes.
So we had to get rid of them.
It was a cunning move.
Yes.
But it was also brutal to you in the points.
It was. All right, we're back. Whew. The slaughter continues.
It does.
I had to end up dumping both Grot Mega Tanks into that little command squad unit that was back here because they were holding the objective. They were doing the data intercept. We managed to get them all.
They're all gone.
So that got him down to 2 objectives. We failed to kill that biker in combat over here. We did some mortal wounds on the charge, so he keeps those 2 objectives. That gets him 5 points for primary, but I still get Stranglehold. These guys ended up doing data intercept, and this guy ended up doing rod. And then I did my tricky play, which was run my Storm Boys over to snag that objective away from him in his home field. So denying the Dark Angels some points, but we're getting down to it. Turn 5. We'll see how it goes.
It was your turn to be cunning this time.
It was. All right.
So at the beginning of your turn, you don't get data intercept.
No.
Hey, sorry, I was looking at points and not
That's
looking
fine.
at the camera.
You're informing us.
I'm trying.
So he snuck over here and killed my data intercept between the shooting between these guys, this guy, and then shots off of that
Talonmaster.
Then he killed the lone knob. Managed to pick up the Grot Mega Tank. Shockingly, a 3-wound Grot Mega Tank did not survive 4 Deathwing Knights. Although shockingly, this Storm Boys only lost a guy.
Didn't lose a single guy.
He did fail the 9-inch charge over here. We think by points right now, there's no way I can lose it. But we're just playing it out to see how many points we can each score.
It's true.
You can work camera. All right, we're back. Phil.
Yes.
Shenanigans happened that last
Shenanigans
turn.
happened, and I won. Just kidding, I didn't.
I was like, wait a minute.
I'm gonna take it over. Now your viewers will never know. Unless they watch the battle report, in which case they'll totally know.
It'll be heavily edited in your favor.
Exactly. I'm in control of that footage.
Yeah, so my last turn, I had the option to keep this knob on Smash a Squig over here. We did shoot the Grot Mega Tank into the Apothecary, killing him, which set me up to be able to get Stranglehold and hold more for the last turn. I did kill the Grot Mega Tank, but that's what it's supposed to do. This knob charged in, killed the last biker here on the charge. And if I sat there, I would get 13 more points. But I just couldn't resist trying to unstoppable momentum to him, and I did roll the 12 to make that. These guys just
Maybe not cunning, but certainly brutal.
It was a lot of fun. But that was a blast, man. Yes. I really appreciate you
awesome
having me out.
Seriously, thank you so much.
We got to do this again sometime. We keep dodging each other in events here in the Southeast. We're around all the time. But we never get paired up, so this was a lot of fun.
Yes.
So. Good luck to you. You're going to No Retreat Legends?
No Retreat Legends out in Gibraltar, so.
All right. Well, check them out there. Yes. Root for the Dark Angels. Woo! I'm sure someone else there will have Orks. We'll root for them too, obviously.
No. No, you can root for them until they face me. In which case,
then we'll root for you. Okay, got it. All right, well, I'll see you guys on the drive back.
Hey.
All right, back on the road. It's about a 4.5-hour drive home. Thanks for having me out, Phil. That was a blast. I loved playing that game. I feel really good with this list. It's got a lot of tricks to keep me in the game, even though I don't necessarily have some of the durability or firepower that you see with some of those buggy lists like we were talking about earlier. So I really like how this plays. It forces me to do a lot of things that I'm not used to doing, and I'm learning. I'm getting better. You know, I've tinkered around with maybe dropping one of the knobs on Smash the Squigs to be able to upgrade the 2 units of Truck Boys to 2 units of Beast Snaggle Boys. You know, that could be fun. They would get a +1 from the Beast Bosses, you know, +1 to hit. Give them an invuln save, give them +1 to hit against vehicles, make them strength 5. So there's a lot of benefit there, but I really like having those 3 Smasha knobs because they're really good at just going down and hunting things that need to die. You saw that in the game where they were just dropping mortal wounds left and right on a lot of those important characters and units towards that early and then late game. That's about it for me, guys. It's a long day. This is going to basically be the entire Saturday for me, is driving out to Savannah, playing that game, and then driving back. So I've got to hopefully get some food here shortly because I've only had 1 meal today. You know, I don't think Swedish fish count as a second meal, so I've got an earpiece in so I can listen to some coverage from the Iron Halo to see what's going on there. It sounds like Grey Knights versus Grey Knights are kicking some butt there, so get ready for that in the meta. But until until next time, sorry, I'm a little burned out. Until next time, guys, this has been Seth the Mad Dog saying have a good wah.